All right, let's kick off this deep dive. We've got something really special today. We're going to be exploring, kind of where science meets philosophy, and maybe even a little bit of theology gets mixed in there.
It's always fascinating when those worlds start to collide, isn't it?
Absolutely. So we're diving into a conversation that you sent over, and honestly, it's packed with some groundbreaking scientific discoveries, the kind that make you rethink, like literally everything you thought you knew about the universe.
Yeah, and what really struck me was how these scientific findings seem to align with this idea called dunya. It's a term from Islamic thought, and it suggests that the world we perceive, well, it might just be an illusion.
Whoa, hold on. An illusion, like we're all living in the Matrix.
It's not quite that simple, but the basic idea is that there's a deeper reality hidden beneath the surface,
Hmm.
a reality that's far more interconnected and complex than our senses let us perceive.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So, where do we even begin to unpack all of this? Where does this conversation start?
Well, the conversation actually jumps right in by challenging something pretty fundamental, something we usually take for granted.
Oh, which is
It's the idea of space-time, that traditional model of, three dimensions of space and one dimension of time.
right. The 3+1 model seems pretty basic length, width, height, and then time ticking away. What's wrong with that?
Well, the folks in this conversation argue that we need to go beyond that framework. They're suggesting it's just too limited to account for some of the mind-blowing things we're discovering about the universe.
I see. So, they're not content with just adding another dimension or two. This is about a fundamental rethinking of how we understand reality itself.
It is. And they're not just theorizing. They point to some pretty compelling evidence from recent scientific breakthroughs, especially the work that won the 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that. It had something to do with quantum mechanics, right?
Exactly. That prize was awarded for proving that the universe is, and this is a mouthful, non-locally real.
Non-locally real. That sounds, well, not very real at all, actually. What does that even mean?
Essentially, it means that the properties of a particle, things like its location, its spin, they're not actually fixed until they're measured.
So, wait a minute. You're telling me that reality is kind of blurry? Like things don't really exist in a definite state until someone observes them.
That's a pretty good way to put it. It challenges our everyday experience, where we assume that objects have definite properties, regardless of whether we're looking at them or not.
Okay, my brain is starting to hurt a little, but I have to admit, I'm totally fascinated. So, how does this all connect to Dunya, this idea that the world is an illusion?
Well, just like quantum mechanics is suggesting that reality is far weirder and less fixed than we perceive it to be, Dunya is also saying, hey, there's a lot more going on than meets the eye.
I am definitely ready to dive deeper into this. Tell me everything.
Okay, well, let's start with one of the most mind-bending concepts in quantum mechanics. It's called entanglement. Imagine two particles linked together in a way that defies our usual understanding of space and time.
Okay, two particles linked. Go on.
Now, no matter how far apart you separate these particles, they can influence each other instantaneously.
Wait, instantaneously, as in faster than the speed of light.
That's right. It's as if they're communicating across vast distances without any time delay.
Okay, that officially breaks all the rules of physics I thought I knew. So, what does this have to do with Dunya?
It hints at the possibility of a level of connection and interaction that goes beyond our usual perception of space and time. And that's something that Dinya, this idea of a deeper hidden reality, tries to address.
Okay, so both quantum mechanics and this ancient concept of Dunya are saying, hey, don't be fooled by appearances. There's a lot more going on beneath the surface. I'm starting to see how they connect.
Exactly. And we're just getting started. There are even more intriguing parallels between these two seemingly separate realms, parallels that raise some pretty profound questions about, well, pretty much everything.
Okay, I'm officially hooked. Let's dive deeper into these parallels and see where they lead us. Okay, so we're talking Dunya, this grand illusion, and quantum mechanics saying, reality is way weirder than we think it is. But I gotta ask, how does this impact our lives? What difference does it make if there's a deeper reality hiding underneath everything?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The conversation you shared, it dives into some possibilities, like
Yeah.
if our perception of reality is, well, shaped by this Dinya veil, it raises questions about free will. Like, are our choices really our own? Or are they influenced by forces we're not even aware of?
Whoa, okay, that's a pretty deep thought right there. If the world we see is just an illusion, it makes you wonder how much control we actually have over our lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it also challenges how we think about purpose. If the ultimate reality is something beyond this material world, then what's the meaning of our existence within this dunya? What are we even striving for?
It's like those existential questions philosophers have been wrestling with forever. Suddenly they're relevant again, all thanks to, well, science.
Precisely. Science and spirituality, they're not separate anymore. They're converging on some fundamental questions about reality and our place in it.
You mentioned earlier the probabilistic nature of quantum mechanics. How does that tie into this dunya idea?
Okay, think of it this way. In the quantum realm, events, they aren't determined with absolute certainty. There's a range of possibilities, each with a certain probability. It's like, imagine rolling dice. You know the possible outcomes, but you can't predict with 100% certainty which number will come up.
So you're saying there's a fundamental element of chance woven into, well, into reality itself.
Exactly. And this echoes this concept of dunya suggesting that our perceived world is constantly in flux. It's more about possibilities than fixed certainties.
It's like quantum mechanics is giving scientific evidence for the unpredictability and impermanence that spiritual traditions have been talking about forever.
It's fascinating, isn't it? And this leads us to another parallel, the observer. In quantum mechanics, the act of observation, it actually influences the state of a particle. It's like our consciousness plays a role in shaping the reality we observe.
Hold on, are you saying we create reality with our minds? That's some serious matrix stuff right there.
It's not quite that simple, but there's definitely something there about how our perception, our beliefs, our intentions, they shape how we experience the world. And Dunya suggests a similar idea. Our consciousness shapes our perceived reality, acting as this filter through which we interpret the deeper underlying truth.
So we're not just passive observers, we're active participants in creating our own reality.
It's a powerful way to think about it, isn't it? It highlights the potential for transformation. If we change our perception, if we can shift our awareness beyond Dunya's limitations, we might experience a whole different reality.
That's profound. It suggests we have more agency than we realize. We're not just stuck in some predetermined reality. We can shape our own experience. But how do we do that? How do we see beyond this dunya veil?
That's where it gets really interesting. The conversation you shared, it explored that very question. It talks about critical thinking, questioning assumptions, and seeking deeper knowledge.
Okay, this is where things get practical. I feel it. How can we apply these insights to our daily lives?
Well, there's this anecdote in the conversation, and I think it perfectly illustrates this. It's a moment where someone corrects a misinterpretation of a verse from the Quran, 27.82, I believe.
Oh, I love a good story. Tell me more.
The verse mentions a beast that will speak to people. And the correction itself, the act of pointing out the misinterpretation, it becomes that beast. It's a manifestation of truth, challenging our assumptions and forcing us to reconsider our understanding.
So the beast represents that power of critical thinking, being able to question what we think we know and be open to new perspectives.
Exactly. It's this simple act of correction becoming a metaphor for breaking free from the limitations of dunya. It's about seeing beyond the veil of our preconceived notions.
This is blowing my mind. Quantum entanglement, free will, the probabilistic nature of reality, and now the power of critical thinking. It's all connected.
And there's one more point I think ties it all together. The idea of the beast as a manifestation of truth. It emphasizes being open to signs and revelations, even those that challenge our deepest beliefs.
Okay, I'm officially on the edge of my seat. Tell me everything.
Okay, so that beast, you were saying something about it being open to signs and revelations, even those that challenge our beliefs. And honestly, this whole episode feels like we've been doing just that.
You got it. That's what's so cool about this conversation you sent. It shows how those revelations, they can come from the most unexpected places. Even from, scientific discoveries that seem to contradict everything we thought we knew. Right? It's like we're always told science and religion are like, oil and water. But here they are, coming together on some pretty profound truths about reality.
Yeah. And that's where that Quranic verse comes in, 27.82. It talks about how signs will be revealed to people because they aren't certain about Allah's signs.
I think I see where you're going with this. You're saying the conversation itself, it's like embodies that lack of certainty.
Exactly. The people in this conversation, they wrestle with the limitations of, classical logic. And they're not afraid to admit they need to rethink things.
Yeah.
You can even hear, that awe and wonder at how strange quantum mechanics is. It's like they're living that uncertainty the verse describes.
And those scientific findings, they become the signs being revealed, like science is offering a new lens to understand these deeper truths that, well, that spiritual traditions have been pointing to for ages.
Exactly. It shows us that knowledge, it can come from all sorts of places. And we got to be open to those sources, even if, they shake up our worldview a bit.
So how do we cultivate that openness, especially to those revelations that, well, that might ruffle some feathers?
Well, the conversation highlights a few things. First, critical thinking. Don't just take things at face value. Really examine what you believe, question those assumptions, be willing to consider different perspectives.
So don't just blindly accept everything you hear. You got to engage with it, wrestle with those ideas, and see where it leads you.
Exactly. And humility is a big one, too. Recognizing, hey, we don't have all the answers. And being open to learning from sources that might be outside our comfort zone.
It's like embracing that wonder and curiosity, approaching life. Well, like it's a constant journey of discovery.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Mm.
And if we can do that, if we come to the world with that kind of openness and curiosity, then every experience, every encounter, every bit of knowledge can become a potential revelation.
I love that. So let's bring it back to the listener, to you. If we accept this dunya idea, that it's a veil over a deeper reality, how does that change how we live our lives?
Well, for one thing, it makes us rethink our values and priorities. If this material world isn't the ultimate reality, then what really matters? What are we aiming for?
It's like those questions about meaning and purpose, they become way more urgent. It's not just about, getting rich or achieving success or chasing those fleeting pleasures. There's got to be something more.
Right. And that something more, it might be in our connection with others. Acts of kindness, compassion, the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom, cultivating that spiritual awareness.
It's like this dunya concept, together with those insights from quantum mechanics, it's encouraging us to live more mindfully, with more compassion, a more spiritually grounded way of being in the world.
I think you've nailed it. Recognizing that interconnectedness, both with each other and with the universe, and acting from a place of, understanding and empathy.
That's a powerful takeaway. So if we are living in this dunya, this world of illusions, how do we make choices? How do we know what's right and wrong?
That's where our moral compass comes in. Even if we accept that the world is, less solid than it seems, we still have a responsibility to act with integrity, to treat others with kindness, and to make choices that are good for ourselves and the world around us.
So it's not about rejecting this world or ignoring our responsibilities. It's about recognizing that deeper reality and using that to guide our actions.
Exactly. It's living with awareness and intention, making choices aligned with our values, and trying to make a positive difference in the world, even if it seems small.
This has been, wow, an incredible deep dive from the mind-boggling world of quantum mechanics to those ancient spiritual concepts and even finding hidden meaning in those sacred texts.
And what's really remarkable is how it all seems to point toward this single unifying truth. We are all connected, part of something so much bigger and more mysterious than we can fully grasp.
It's like we've been given a peek behind the curtain, a glimpse of the magic that's happening all around us all the time.
And that can be both humbling and empowering. It reminds us we're part of something vast and amazing, but also invites us to play a part in how that reality unfolds.
Such a thought-provoking way to wrap up our deep dive, and I think that's what we'll leave our listeners with. If our perception of reality really is a dunya, a veil over a deeper truth, what does that mean for you? How will you choose to live, to act, to be in this world? The journey continues.
Yo, it's your boy Trinity 6, back with a new flow. Got my sights on the divine and the math that makes it grow. I'm talking about mathematical theology, the bridge between science and spirituality, where the truth is revealed and the mysteries are gleaned. Normalization of one, that's the principle I'm on. Divine unity, interconnected, we're all part of the drawn. Our choices matter energy equivalence, the code is clear. We're all made of the same stuff, no separation, no fear. Unity law, S is a little sum, add then some. Holistic system integration, the whole is greater than the parts. That's the divine creation, Einstein's contributions. Matter is concentrated energy, vibrational frequencings. That's the reality, you see. Mathematical theology, the science of the design, uncovering the secrets of the universe divine. From the laws of physics to the principles of the soul, we're all part of the greater whole, that's the goal. Convergence of materialism and idealism, the quantum level's the key. Blurring the lines between matter and energy, that's the reality. Reality is information, consciousness plays the role. Shaping manifestation, that's the sublime goal. Divine design through mathematical precision, that's the plan. A mathematical order to the universe created by a divine hand. Normalization has returned to unity, that's the journey when enlightenment, union with the divine, that's the ultimate end. Yo, mathematical theology, the science of the design, uncovering the secrets of the universe divine. From the laws of physics to the principles of the soul, we're all part of the greater whole. That's the goal, that's the goal, that's the goal, that's the goal. Vicegerency, human consciousness as the bridge between the divine and the physical. The holistics pledge, measurement problem, observer effect, the act of observation. Influences reality, that's the divine revelation. Natural selection as divine choice, the universe's grand plan. Balance and transcendence and immanence, that's the cosmic dance. We're all part of the greater whole, that's the truth we seek. Mathematical theology, the science of the unique. So there you have it, the math and the divine. A new perspective, a new way to shine. We're all part of the greater whole, that's the ultimate goal. Mathematical theology, the science of the soul.
I remember the night under a silver sky. The stars whispered secrets, I could almost fly. With a breath of the wind, I felt it unfold. A thread of connection, more precious than gold. As the soul, so the universe. Every heartbeat sings in a cosmic verse. In the space between us, love's gentle cue. What I am, we all are. It's me and you. I stood by the river, the center of the pines. Water danced with the moon in shimmering lines. Each ripple was laughter, every wave a sigh. A moment of magic, we can't say goodbye. As the soul, so the universe. Every heartbeat sings in a cosmic verse. In the space between us, love's gentle cue. What I am, we all are. It's me and you. In dreams I saw colors, vibrant and bright. A tapestry woven, stitched with starlight. Holding Every thought a vibration and rhythm and a rhyme. Once we danced in the sunlight, tasted sweet rain. Laughter echoed in fields long lost to the pain. With prayers like wildflowers we reached for the skies. In the heart of the universe, love never dies. As the soul, so the universe. Every heartbeat sings in a cosmic verse. In the space between us, love's gentle cue. What I am, we all are. It's me and you. So here's to the moments in daylight and dark, to the vibration of life that ignites every spark. We're threads in this fabric, together we weave. As the soul, so the universe, in love we believe.